in my opinion.
Yeah, Harden fans they cannot stand Westbrook at this point because they legitimately feel like he robbed Harden of MVP, and they believe Steph robbed Harden of MVP. Um,
I don't know about
I
that.
know, so they're bitter. They're hungry for
Yeah.
an MVP. So I mean, if I had to choose right now, it'd be Harden. Harden was really good earlier in the season. He had a stretch where he had like back-to-back 50-point games, and I think they lost both of those. But he also had the 60-point triple-double. Um, they have the best record in the league. They're right there with the Warriors. I don't know. It's tough to go against James Harden at this point, but
Yeah.
like Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard are carrying teams who we would all agree are much worse than the Rockets
Right.
in terms of coach, roster, all of that. But Anthony Davis in the last 12 games is averaging 34.5 points per game, 13 rebounds, 2.5 blocks, 2.5 steals on 50% shooting.
That's insane. I
And they're the 4 seed in the West right now.
That's insane.
I know. It's like if he keeps this up for the rest of the season, like, and they stay at like the 3 or 4 seed, it's gonna be a tough argument against like how can you go against that? Because his second best player on his team right now is Drew Holiday,
Yeah.
who I think is really good, but his third best player is who? Rondo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rondo in 2018, like, and then we got to go to Dame. Go look at Dame's
Oh
stats.
man.
Last 9 games, 35 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 49% shooting, 43% from three, and that's taking 10 threes a game.
If that's his stat line any other year, he would have been MVP
He
easily.
yeah, like this year is that Steph season, the first season he won MVP.
Yeah.
I think what Lillard's doing right now, he would have been the MVP.
Yeah.
I also think what LeBron's doing right now, he would have had a good case in that year too. But this year has been a really good year for individual performances. Like
Yeah.
even Steph and KD, they have the almost the best record in the league. They're right there with the Rockets, putting up 26, 6 and 6, and then KD putting up about the same with 2 blocks a game, 2 steals. I mean, they got good cases too, but they're on the same team, so
Yeah.
it's hard to tell when you're talking about MVP. And then Kyrie leading the Celtics, DeRozan leading the
Man.
Raptors. There's a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot of candidates. In over the next 20 games, if Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard both keep it up, I would like heavily consider putting them over Harden.
I'll definitely have consider them as well.
Because, Harden plays with CP3, who
Yeah.
doesn't get a lot of credit at this point in his career, but he's still one of the top tier guards.
Yeah.
But like we were mentioning in the records, there's a tight race going on for the playoffs. Rockets are the 1 seed, Warriors are the 2 seed, and then from 3 to 10, they're all within, what is that, 4.5 games. So that's in the West. So it's gonna be a tight race down the stretch of this season. I don't know. The Spurs are the team that I can see dropping a lot. The Timberwolves as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder have been looking pretty bad lately, but I think they get it picked back up soon. Even though they have the tough schedule, I think they'll be able to dig it out because they've got, Melo Westbrook, Paul George, all been deep into the playoffs in their career. But the Spurs I'm concerned about because they're leaning so heavily on LaMarcus.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys that he's playing with right now are like D-League, like G League guys.
Very mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then you got the Trailblazers and Pelicans, like we were just talking about. They're 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And if Jimmy Butler were still in the mix in Minnesota, they would have been a problem as well. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Do you think he'll be in time back for the playoffs or no?
He should. What I saw is that he's going to be he's going to come back towards the end of the season, so like the last couple of games.
Okay.
The same is for like in the East. Kevin Love, he's gonna come back around the same time. So, the Nuggets are making a push. Clippers, Jazz have been on a big winning streak over the last couple games, even though they're still outside of the playoffs. And the Lakers have been hot, but I don't think they'll be able to make it.
Yeah, me being a loyal Laker fan, I mean, I'm willing to, take the L in this season of not making the playoffs. But, it's always next year. LeBron. I'm putting my recruiting foot out there.
We'll save those LeBron Lakers comments that I have for a couple weeks from now. We got nothing to talk about. Let's go to the East. So, the Raptors are in first, Celtics 2, and then in the East, 3 through 8, really. All could change by the end of the season. Cleveland is the 3rd seed right now, 37-26. The Pacers. Now remember when we did that over-under thing at the beginning of the season, we both thought the Pacers were going to be bad.
Yeah, I sure did.
I'm pretty sure the over-under was like 23 games, and I might have picked under. And they have won 37. I think Oladipo is a huge sleeper for MVP. Yeah. He won't get any consideration, but because of some of the other guys who have had better seasons, but he's really important to how good they've been. And you got the Sixers, Bucks, and Heat.
I really like the Heat though. I feel like Dwayne Wade is really sparked their energy. They're not gonna go anywhere. I just like them in the playoffs. I just think they're gonna be that team that's gonna be hard to get over in the first round. The
Bucks as a 7 seed has got to be scary for the Celtics.
Yeah.
That's really scary. Sure. So you got Kyrie. We all know the Celtics team. Giannis, Middleton, Bledsoe, Jabari Parker,
Terry on the. Ooh, man.
Yeah, why? Another thing, why is Jason Terry good? Why is he good right now?
I mean, because he just sits in the corner and shoots. I mean, corner threes, anybody can make a corner three.
I thought his career was over when LeBron dunked on him, 5 years ago.
I mean, that sure did put the cap on his career as far as, athleticism. But,
how old is he? He's 40. Okay, so he's not as old as I thought. I thought he was 42. But man, he's still here. He really is still here.
And he's contributing big time.
If Giannis, let's say it's an ISO in the last play of the game, Bucks versus Celtics, Giannis is going 1-on-1. Terry is in the corner. It gets swung over to Terry. You do not. If you're a Celtics fan, you do not want that to happen.
It happened already. Against, I forgot the team. Giannis drove and he almost fell out of bounds, lost the ball, and tipped it back to Terry and hit a three
Yeah,
to tie
I did
it.
see that. That was the Wizards.
It was the Wizards?
Yeah. But you do not want. He's one of the scariest players. Like, if he's in the corner and it's late in the game, I don't want Jason Terry to be taking that shot. The Sixers at the 6th seed. Right now, it'd be Cavs Sixers first round.
That would be an interesting series.
Personally, I don't think that's.
I mean,
Ben Simmons is.
Who's gonna stop Embiid? That's the question.
Larry Nance Jr. All jokes aside, Larry Nance is actually like really good.
He is.
I didn't know how good. Like, I really didn't know how good he was. I'd seen like several Lakers games. I knew his game, but I don't. He's taken it to a whole new level in Cleveland, at least to me. He's not stopping Embiid, and the Cavs really need to pick up somebody over 7 feet.
Somebody get Greg Oden or something. Somebody that's just as tall as Embiid, you know.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody on the Cavs can do anything with Embiid.
Embiid is really the only person in the whole East playoffs that you would need a big for.
Yeah.
Like, because Al Horford, he's not stopping him because
Right.
he's a power forward. He's really a power forward. But Detroit's gonna miss the playoffs, and Charlotte's gonna miss the playoffs. Who have Drummond and Dwight,
Yeah, right.
who you would need a big for. But other than that, you got guys like Thon Maker, John Henson, Zeller. Oh, Whiteside. Whiteside is on the.
I mean, I would take Ibaka in some cases.
At least I'm just looking at it from like a low post standard.
Oh
Like,
yeah, if that's the case, then I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Whiteside is probably the best shot at containing Embiid.
Yeah. They could all move because Cleveland is 9 games back, Pacers 9.5, Wizards 10, Sixers 11, Bucks 12.5, Heat 13. So the most likely movement is between the Cavs, Pacers, and Wizards, and the Sixers. But the Bucks and Heat have a longer shot at moving up to those 5 or 6 seeds. I don't know. There's still a lot of time left for seeding to change, but 1 and 2 are pretty much locked in at this point. But other than that, I think Cleveland is a step ahead. I'm probably biased, but I think Cleveland's a step ahead of the rest of the teams: Pacers, Wizards, Sixers, Bucks, and Heat. And then those from there, I think they're really close together, especially with John Wall out.
Yeah, right.
For at least another 4 weeks. Anything else you got to say about this playoff race?
I know people have said it, but I am gonna bring it to life right quick. Toronto is a different team. I've been watching DeRozan, and he is like on attack mode. Like, I just need to see that in the playoffs. I hope I am, because I don't want to be disappointed like I have been in recent years with their performance in the playoffs. But I truly believe this Toronto team is different this year.
I gotta agree. Their bench is probably the deepest in the NBA.
Yeah.
They've got Fred VanVleet, who's took his game to a whole new level. He's a really good backup point guard. Wichita State. He plays a lot of crunch time minutes for them, so they'll go Lowry, VanVleet, DeRozan, and then Ibaka, Anunoby, C.J. Miles, Siakam. They've got Jakob Pertl, Valanciunas. They've got a lot of guys. I just don't know. You don't know which Kyle Lowry and DeRozan you're going to get.
Right.
And that's the thing with them every year. They could really win 80 games, and I'd still be like, I don't know what the Raptors are going to do.
Right.
If they play the Heat in the first round, I think that's a sweep. I really do. Like, just thinking about it right now. But if the Celtics play the Heat, then I think it goes a little bit longer. But the Raptors, man, from a team perspective, they look really good. It's a question every year,
Right.
how are they going to play when the bright lights come on? I mean,
Because throughout those playoff games, a lot of teams are not able to, go on the break as fast because the game slows down. It's a lot more physical, and that's gonna be troublesome for some teams like Philadelphia with Ben Simmons that likes to push the ball a lot. But for other teams, that already has it slowed down and run set plays and stuff, they're gonna try to take that to advantage. So you gotta have that in mind when going into the playoffs, so they're ready.
yeah. A lot of the times the playoffs is about who can get a bucket, like on this specific possession. And if Lowry and DeRozan aren't playing at the top of their game, that's when they get really hurt as a team. But there's another race going on in the NBA, and that is for last place. It's probably more important than the playoff race, if we're being honest. Because, you got Houston, Golden State, Toronto, Cleveland, and Boston, and that's pretty much it, honestly. But this race right here, this is a good one. So, let me pull this up real quick. We've got Memphis. This is as of today. So, Memphis has the best odds right now. Then Phoenix, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Dallas, Orlando, and Sacramento all have 20 wins. So they're all tied. So that's 3 through 7 in the lottery. Could all flip with the win of one game. Then you've got Chicago, who's one game back of them at the 8th spot. New York, Charlotte, Lakers, Detroit, Utah, and Clippers. Lakers don't own their pick. It'll go to Philly. And Detroit doesn't own their pick. It would go to the Clippers in that Blake Griffin trade. Which, that's a whole nother thing. They really are going to get 12th in the lottery and then gave that to the Clippers so they could get Blake Griffin.
Did the Lakers get a pick from Cleveland or something?
Yeah, that's 25th. That's Cleveland's pick.
Oh, okay.
So, based on their record. But yeah, right now, Cleveland has the third best odds of getting the number one pick in this draft.
That's not fair. It's not fair.
How do you feel about that? Because I feel great. You know how I feel.
Yeah, I know. But, I feel like Phoenix could really use the number one pick right now. That's all I'm saying.
They've got the second best odds. That's
give
pretty
back,
good.
Give back. You just won a championship not too long ago, man. There's not much rebuilding you need to be doing right now.
We've gotta pierce that hole Kyrie left.
You're good for now. There are teams that need these picks now. There is no later. There is no trust the process. They need it now. Teams like New York, Brooklyn, Chicago, Memphis, they need it now because they are struggling.
Memphis has lost 14 games in a row. Is that ridiculous?
That's ridiculous.
You couldn't lose 6 and then win 1. You lost 14 in a row. What are you doing?
And I know you've seen that Brooklyn versus Chicago game. Probably the worst basketball I've seen in my life. That looked like us playing at the rec center or something. Like,
I was only watching that game because I just liked watching Brooklyn. But yeah, turnover, like missed shot,
missed layups.
Like, wow. They're really trying to get one of these top players. I did a mock draft. You can go look at it. It's on my Medium .com account. I had Luka Doncic going number 1
Mm-hmm.
to Memphis. I think they still have Marc Gasol, so they wouldn't want to go for Bagley or Ayton. And I think Doncic is going to be a really good player.
I do too. I think he's gonna end up like Dirk as far as coming from internationally coming to the NBA. I think he's gonna have that same effect Dirk had when he came.
I can see that. He's 18 and he's averaging like his per 36 numbers are like 27, 7 and 7. And he's playing in like the second best league in the world, besides the NBA.
Yeah.
I think he's got like some big Ginobili. That's what he gives me, like a big Ginobili mixed with
Like coach type.
yeah, like a point forward, but like with the like speed and yeah. I think he's really good, but if Memphis could get somebody like that, it's gonna change their whole future because they haven't really had anything different. They've been at the same like 5 through 8 seed for a long time because they had Conley, Tony Allen, Marc Gasol, all those Zach Randolph, all those guys for so long.
Right.
Phoenix. I'm trying to remember who I had them getting. Oh, Ayton.
Ayton.
Yeah,
that would be good.
That would be really good. You put Booker and Ayton together, I think you've got something you can really like.
Josh Jackson in the mix, man. That would be a great.
Everybody else on that team is pretty much dispensable at this point.
Yeah.
But those 3, you could turn that into something really good. Cleveland, I had Cleveland taking Michael Porter Jr. At 3.
Okay.
And let me double check because I think that's what I have. But the reason was, I still think that he's really good. He's gonna play tomorrow in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see. I don't have that many expectations because it's been a while. But I had Cleveland taking him. If they fall back, if Brooklyn wins a couple more games and they fall back to like 7, Trae Young is the pick.
For Brooklyn?
I think, yeah. Cleveland, they'll take him. Atlanta, I think I had them taking Bagley. No, I had Dallas taking Bagley.
Ooh, man.
Dennis Smith and Bagley.
That would be scary. I wanted Bagley to go to LA, though. Just my personal opinion.
The Clippers?
No, Lakers.
Well, you're not getting them. Because you lose your pick because you traded, I don't even know. Is that like a Bynum trade or something? I don't know how that pick is going to Philly, but...
yeah, I think that was the Bynum trade. Because I think that was right after he slammed Barrera and when we got swept. I was so shocked. I was like, what is going on with the cleanest elbow? Man.
Oh, man. Bynum he's one of the most interesting players that I've ever seen.
He had the Ike Turner hairdo for a minute. I'm like, what is this dude doing?
He was pulling up from 3 in practice in Cleveland. They were like, what are you doing? Like, they really had this. Byron Scott was like, what's up? Are you good? He was like, yeah. His hair was half braided.
Yeah, man. As soon as Phil left, Bynum left too. He lost his mind.
Yeah. I think I had Atlanta taking Colin Sexton now that I think about it. But only because, they got Schroeder. I don't know. They're going to have to pay him at some point. I think Sexton has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of good guys up in the top of the draft. Who's some of your favorites that you've seen?
I like Michael Porter. I liked him,
Yeah.
even though he didn't play as much this year. I love Bagley. I just feel like he's gonna be one of those bigs that'll make an impact in the NBA as soon as he touches down. I like Aiton. I like Trae Young. Um, he got to get stronger though. I mean, he's too small. They'll punk him around in the NBA, especially if he plays guys like Patrick Beverly all in his skin. Like that would be, a type. Yeah, but I like Luca too. Um, like I said, I feel like he'll have that international effect. And I like Sexton and I love Mo Bamba. I feel like he is his length. Oh my
Yeah.
god, man! I'll any team can use his length. So yeah, those are my picks from the draft that I really like.
Mo Bamba has a lot of his. I think he has like something like a 7'8" or 8. It's like really close to 8 foot wingspan. Like when he jumps up to block shots, is ridiculous. I think he can be a perfect, DeAndre Jordan kind of guy.
Mm.
One of the rim runners, Clint Capella, but even bigger. And he can shoot it a little bit.
Yeah,
He can shoot it better than both of those guys. I like him early in the draft. Trae Young, when everybody, the thing about him, if he was like 200 pounds,
mm-hmm.
everybody he'd be closer to number one. Even with this bad stretch his team has been on lately. But you got to look at Tony Parker played 15 really good years and no injuries.
Right.
And he's only 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Similar to Trae Young.
He was a super acrobat though. Tony Parker knew how to get to the rim with avoiding contact, but drawing contact at the same time. So he was kind of that special acrobat player that find his way through the holes.
Yeah. I think, Trae Young, everybody wants to compare Trae Young to Steph, right? I think he's more Steve Nash than Steph.
Think?
I think he's a lot more Steve Nash than Steph. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time.
I think his mannerisms are like Steph, like just the way the way his hair looks, the way he.
He's clearly watched a lot of Steph film. He's been compared to Steph since he was 15. Like, you go look on YouTube, it'll be Trae Young next Steph Curry, or Steph Curry Jr., Trae Young, Ball His Life mixtape. Yeah, so that comparison has been there because he can shoot threes really well. And after he shoots threes, he stole that from Steph. He does tap the chest, point in the air, But yeah, I think Trae Young's passing ability is his best asset. Colin Sexton, he just seems like a dog. Like regardless of where he goes or anything else, he's gonna play hard every night. And worst case scenario, I see like a bigger Patrick Beverly. Like maybe not as good of a defender, but he's about 6'3". And he has a lot more offensive skills. My sleeper. Now, a lot of people, this is not going to be in the lottery, but a lot of people don't know these guys. They just, for whatever reason, I'm sure a lot of college basketball fans do. I don't watch college basketball. I just look at the people who are going to be in the draft. Robert Franks from Washington State. He's going to be probably a second rounder or late first. He had 10 threes in a game. He's about 6'8", 6'9", power forward, small forward, in betweener. He's really good. Nobody's really heard of him. Also, Aaron Holiday, younger brother of Drew and Justin Holiday, goes to UCLA. Also really good. Lately he went for like 34 the other day. I think he's gonna be um, mid-20s to the end of the first round. And then the last one, Isaac Bonga from Germany, 6'8" point guard. Um, he's gonna take a while, probably 2 or 3 years, but after that, I think he's gonna be like a 6'8" Dennis Schroeder. Like they have similar games, and they're both from Germany.
Mm.
That's mainly where I got the comparison from. But look out for those guys towards the end of the draft. Other than that, this is kind of a strange draft. I don't really. There's a lot of bigs
Yeah.
in the middle of it, so you got like guys like Wendell Carter, Robert Williams, Brandon McCoy, Mitchell Robinson. They're all pretty much the same player.
Mm-hmm.
Just depending on their situation, they all do similar things. I don't know where they're going to get picked, and the way the NBA is played today, you don't know how effective they're going to be.
You're right.
But yeah, after March Madness, there's always people in March Madness who, like, they take their game to another level, bring their draft stock all the way up, and then end up getting drafted.
Yeah.
So after that, we'll be able to see clear. But back to tanking, like, do you think they should incentivize teams for making the 8th seed in the playoffs?
I think so.
In like making the effort to get to the playoffs instead of tanking to get back as far as possible. Like, I don't even know what it could be, but
Yeah, I think so. I think that would make it way more competitive. But at the same time, there are teams that know they don't have a shot at the 8th seed. So I mean, it kind of depends on who the team is. But other than that, I say it's a pretty good idea to like spark that competitiveness and I think rather than doing this, I think they should penalize teams that are making an effort to tank. Cause it's obvious like who's trying to tank, just off of the the effort, the coach's decisions and all of that, all those factors put together. To me though,
this was a big topic a couple of weeks ago. But do you think they should change the playoff format to 1-16, or keep it because of history?
yeah, I think there's a line that you just can't cross when it comes to. That's like adding a 4-point shot. Like, you know how many records that would like deteriorate off of you just adding something or changing something that has already been implemented in the system for decades. So I mean, I would be open to like a trial, for like a year to see how it goes, and then if it doesn't go well, then just switch back immediately.
There's also, when they're talking about the 1-16, they also talk about 10 or 11 through, or no, they're talking about the 7 through the 10 seed having a play-in tournament for the last 2 seeds in each conference. I think that could be pretty entertaining, and it would also give an incentive for those teams who aren't like the Lakers, who aren't like bad, but they have a bunch of young guys who that's going to take time in the beginning of the season. Then they had a bunch of injuries, but still might deserve to be the 8th seed based on how they're playing lately, or the Jazz, or teams like that. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea, just so they get a chance as well to compete for a championship, even though they're not as high as all those other teams in the league. I think it'll be a fair opportunity to for them to show the league what they are capable of against other top tier teams.
Yeah. On the 1 through 16 proposal, I think that messes too much with like, you know how we like. It's fun to rank players, but like, is Jordan better than LeBron? Is Kobe better than whoever? Is Robert Ory better than? Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because he has 7 rings?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I think if we changed it from to 1 through 16, that that messes with history too much, like you were saying. Like when they, I don't know what a good comparison is for this, but when you look back at like those old Celtics teams, and they don't have a 3-point line, and they're just like chucking up random shots.
Right.
It definitely that's why we look at them with a different view. You know, there's only like 8 teams in the league than we do the Pistons in the 80s or Celtics, Bulls in the 90s. We can compare those a little bit closer. I just think it just messes with it a lot.
Yeah.
And schedule, you know, you've got it. Like, what if it's, let's say, the Warriors and the Knicks meet in the first round because that's the 1 in 16. Yeah. They've got to go all the way across the country each couple games to play each other just for a series.
Yeah, that messes with travel costs. You gotta, man. Yeah, that'll mess with a lot of different, factors.
Yeah. And that being in the first round, you want to get those done quickly as possible. So there's not as big of a gap as there is in the finals. The finals, you got like 3 days off and then a game. And then they take a couple more days off when they switch arenas. But that, I don't know, that it just seems it seems good, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it still. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yep.
I'm about to bring up a list.
Okay.
I want you to pick three players not named Giannis and Joel Embiid with the most potential.
Okay.
Now, if you already have somebody off the top of your head, you can go ahead and name them.
Simmons.
Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Why is Ben Simmons up there? What do you think?
He's already playing to the caliber of LeBron.
Whoa.
As far as playmaking. Not scoring.
Okay.
But if he learns to score like LeBron at that level, because he's already at that. He's already making his teammates better. He's already making plays up. He's already, creating opportunities for his team to win.
Mm-hmm.
So if he implements the scoring along with 3-point shot, he's going to be unstoppable. Hands down.
Anybody else come to mind, or you want to look at this list?
Yeah, let's look at the list.
A couple people you've mentioned before: Devin Booker, Brandon Ingram, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray. Who else we got in here? We got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, all right. I think I can.
Dennis Smith.
More.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go. This is hard. Only 3.
Yeah.
This is hard, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay. This
Lonzo.
is gonna be so off. But I'm gonna say it. I truly believe that Gary Harris will be a superstar. I truly believe that. I truly do. This is probably biased because, I'm from Detroit. He went to Michigan State. I've seen him play in high school. So it's like, But if he learns to dominate the game like he did at MSU, man, that's my sleeper. That's not. All right, let me take him out. All right, I was just playing it, but I really do
He
like
is
Gary Harris.
he is really
though.
good. Like I made a little, mock best players in the league. He's definitely in the top 50, and I think he could even be higher than that. But I think he's really underrated. Anyways,
Okay, all right, this for real now. All right, I'm gonna say Ben Simmons. I'm gonna say Brandon Ingram, and then I'm gonna say Dennis Smith Jr.
we kind of know why you would pick Brandon Ingram. He's on the Lakers, and he's got like a lot of skills,
Yeah,
length, all that, athleticism.
and he's starting to feel more confident. He's starting to find his rhythm, find his shot, find where his spots are. So I think in next couple years he's gonna really start improving to that next level.
But why Dennis Smith? Why do you think he has?
I feel like his explosiveness and his quickness is gonna be hard to stop with guards defending him because he has that Westbrook, Dwayne Wade mixture. I see, and if he implements that shot, man, the Mavericks, that's going to be his team. It's already his team, basically, since,
Pretty much.
Well, it's still Dirk. Dirk is still there.
Yeah, but in terms of, like, playing on the court.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Dennis Smith has a couple of, like, dunks every week that you're like, he just made it look so easy.
Yeah.
It's like, usually normal NBA guards, which aren't normal basketball players, would, like, lay it up off the just catch two right here. But he'll go up and dunk it. Like, jump up in the air, put it behind his head, just throw it in. And he's so smooth with it, too.
Yeah.
And he's a much better passer than I thought that he was going to be in the NBA. So he definitely does have a lot of potential. I don't know.
But my runner-ups were Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. I feel like Devin Booker to improve to like a Kobe caliber shooting guard. As far as scoring, not like,
I got a hot take. Because I've been thinking about this. Because I've been thinking about you saying the Devin Booker-Kobe comparison.
Okay.
Since you said it like several months ago.
Okay.
Devin Booker is going to be a better offensive player than Kobe. I'm 100% serious. AP seems to be leaving the studio. I don't know what. I must have said something that has upset him. What's up? What I do?
All right. You were already disrespecting Kobe with all these LeBrons and, but I'm not going to let this slide. I said he might live up to Kobe. Might. You're guaranteeing that he's going to be a better offensive player than the greatest offensive player ever?
See, that's crazier than what I said. That's way crazier than what I said. Now, just hear me out, all right? Devin Booker is 21 years old. Just turned 21. Okay? He's averaging 25 a game. 26, somewhere in there.
On the Suns.
That doesn't matter.
Who else is scoring the ball?
He's still doing it efficiently. It's not like he's chucking. I mean, he's got all of the skills you need to be a 30-point per game scorer in the league. And I think next year he's going to average high 20s, 30s. And by the time he's 25, he'll be clearly a better offensive player than Kobe.
By 25.
Yeah. Kobe was a chucker. And let's not forget that, because this revisionist
Early
Kobe,
in his career.
this revisionist Kobe farewell tour,
Early
we
in
love
his
you,
career.
Kobe, stuff is really gotten to me lately. Kobe winning the Oscar, cool. Who cares about the Oscars? You care about the Oscars?
I actually do. I hope to win one day. It's one of the most prestigious honors in American culture, and you just degraded it like it was a participation ribbon or something.
I personally just don't like a lot of the movies the Oscars, they give awards to or nominate.
Yeah.
I've never heard of. So to me, if Black Panther isn't nominated for an Oscar,
It just released though.
next year, if it's not nominated, then I will be right, which means they don't know what they're talking about. But that's a different. So we got Devin Booker. You don't think that he's gonna be Kobe anymore?
I didn't say that. You just said better. You just said better by 25. I'll say by the end of his career, maybe. But you saying by 25.
He's gonna be.
He will already surpass Kobe in his offensive skill set and all that he could do. By 25. So in 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. That's 2022. Devin Booker's gonna be a problem, an issue.
He's definitely gonna be a problem. But he's gonna be a Hall of Famer by 25.
He scored 70 when he was 20 years old. Did Kobe do that?
Who was that against?
The Celtics. The best team in the East, Boston Celtics. Jay
Who was
Crowder.
guarding him? Isaiah Thomas?
Jay Crowder.
I could score 70 on Isaiah Thomas.
You could score 70 on Jay Crowder. Marcus Smart.
I could definitely drop 70 on Marcus Smart.
That's crazy.
All
That's
he does
really
is flops.
crazy. Yeah, he gonna foul you out because you gonna try to drive left and he just gonna flop right into the chest. But yeah, let's go to who's the next person. I like Brandon Ingram. I think that he's gonna be. He could, depending on what he does next year. I think he could end up being a better player than Ben Simmons. I like his passing ability, his playmaking ability. People always want to compare him to KD just because of their, like body types.
Yeah.
But I think he's a much better playmaker than KD was early in his career. And he still has a lot of potential on the defensive end. The last person, I don't really know. Donovan Mitchell, he's one of them. Oh, I do know. And we're going to put some respect on my guy's name. You might have heard of him. No, not Larry Nance. He's good, but he's already like 26. You might have heard of him. His name is Markelle Fultz. And next year he'll be an all-star. Okay. Okay, I'm playing right there.
Oh,
but
man.
Next season,
I'm sorry, y'all. That was just funny.
I think he's gonna average like 15, 4 and 4.
That was funny.
I think he's gonna be a really good player, especially on the Sixers. They got.
I never said he wasn't. I'm just confused with the situation going on as far as.
We said potential, and he hasn't played yet, so clearly.
I see him playing summer league. I love his game. I was just confused about the whole shot situation and will he be able to recover from that?
I've been watching him. He's still got all the athleticism, explosiveness. Real like it's real low key athleticism. You wouldn't think that he was gonna jump like that. But his shot has looked better a lot better lately. And give him till next October to get right, with all the trainers and everything, working on it, taking it slow. And then I think he's back to being a number one pick caliber player. Another person, I don't like his game, but I think he has a lot of potential, is Lonzo. He's already a really good defender. He uses his length. What? You got a look on your face.
You just
because I said
shot
I don't.
ugly don't mean
No, I don't like.
degrade his game.
I don't like his game personally.
Why?
I don't like watching it.
What you don't like? What do you not like?
You already mentioned one thing. I don't like his shot.
Okay.
He can't pull up. He can't do a pull up jumper.
Other than his shot, what else?
No, this is part of his game. He can't do a pull up jumper going right because of the way he shoots the ball. Okay,
Other than his shot,
that's not his shot.
Yeah, other than variations within creating a shot,
he has very minimal dribble moves.
All right, I'll give you that.
Okay,
I'll give you that.
I just don't like the way he moves on the court. That's just me. Nikola Jokic, you know who he is, Denver Nuggets center.
Yeah.
I hate his game. I hate the way he moves on the court. Yeah. He's just a weird player to watch. But I also know that he averaged a triple-double last month.
Yeah.
Almost. I you know what I'm saying? Like, I can still see how they're good, but not be a fan of the game. Lonzo, he's already one of the league's best passers. We know that. He's a really good defender. And he has become a really good shooter once he settled in and became more aggressive on the offensive end. I think he's gonna be really good. You know, a lot of people are gonna hate on him just because of all the buzz that he got coming out of college and because of his dad. But he's a lot better than your average NBA fan thinks that he is. And I think he's gonna be better than a lot of people will expect. Any other sleepers you've thought of? Or things you think I said wrong in the last 5-10 minutes?
Other than Lonzo and that I'm not even gonna revisit that topic because I'm not trying to leave mad here. I really like Gary Harris. I keep bringing it up, but I really like his game, and I feel like once he figures, he figured it out a little bit, but once he really figures it out, he's gonna be a problem, for real.
Yeah, I think that backcourt, him and Jamal Murray, could be really, really good in the West. Kind of a McCollum Lillard kind of thing, but with more defense. Other than that, I don't know. It's just going to be fun to watch how the rest of the season plays out.
Yeah.
In the bottom and the top of the league. If you're in the middle, well, this ain't the year for you. That's just what I got to say. Like Charlotte, it's not a good time to be okay. just watching the league. But you can follow me on Twitter at IamDreTwice. You can go listen to this show on YouTube at the Jump Ball Show. You just type it in, you'll find it. This episode, if you tuned in late, or if you want to just re-listen to it, it should be up tomorrow.
Follow me on SoundCloud, AP the Great. New album, Have a Nice Life, dropping later this month, so look out for that.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Jump Ball.